So as you guys know, I heavily believe in using prop firms to make as much profit as possible in your Forex trading. Over the last year, I traded a lot of prop firm accounts. I've had very large payouts from certain prop firms, and I feel like I am in perfect position to actually tell you the lessons I've actually learned over the last year about trading these prop firms, whether it be psychology, technicals. This is kind of what I'm going to talk about today, especially with managing the prop firm accounts, because I feel like that's where a lot of people actually mess up in their trading. They can get the accounts, but they can't actually manage them and successfully get payouts multiple times from these firms. So a lot of people will be saying, oh, well, how is he going to tell us about prop firms and stuff? But I put on the screen some payouts, and if I actually show you an account I'm trading right now, and we're already up just under $5,000 in the first day trading this account. So hopefully when that payout actually hits my bank, it's a 14-day process obviously, so in 2 weeks time or 13 days I should be able to process that payout, and I will post it on my Instagram or do a separate YouTube video about that certain prop firm account. Over the past couple of months I haven't really been trading much. I've just been focusing on growing my personal account, which is what we're going to go into later in this video as well, and why you should focus on personal and prop firms and when you should focus on one rather than the other. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. Number one, the first point which I'm actually going to make is one which I feel like a lot of traders need to address, not just in their prop firm trading, but just in trading in general for them, because I see so many traders being super greedy in their trading. So step number one is don't be greedy. It sounds simple, but there are quite a few ways to actually eliminate being greedy in prop firm trading. It's happened to me so many times where I've lost profits and I've left profit on the table just because I wanted to make a few more percent on the account, or let's say I wanted to get on the leaderboard or number one on the leaderboards. You know, for certain prop firms like True Forex funds, I've been on the leaderboards many times, even been at number one top spot on the leaderboards. And a lot of people actually aim for this. They try and get on the leaderboards, they try and push their profits, take trades which they wouldn't normally take. And if you're expecting yourself to be very profitable with your trading, but you're not following your trading plan, you're just taking trades that you wouldn't ordinarily take, then how can you expect to actually get good results in the long term? It's just not going to happen. So what was happening in my case was I'd be in trades, and let's say I'd be up 15k, 20k on the account. I'd want to then make 30k, 40k, 50k. And this is because I had days previously where I've made over 50k in a day. I've made over 30k numerous days. So after having these results previously, it kind of wanted me to just make that every single day that I was actually trading these prop firm accounts. Then it would get to the stage where you only end up with a 5k payout. I'm not saying 5k payout is bad. You know, I take a 5k payout every single payout from these prop firms, because with the prop firms you're trading demo money. So to get a 5k payout from a demo account or even a 10k payout, you're doing very well, especially if you look at it in terms of the ROI of actually trading with a prop firm. A £500, $500 investment to potentially make unlimited money from these prop firms whilst it being risk-free after your first payout. I mean, I don't think there's any business that has the return on investment that prop firms actually have. And that's why I'll keep using them going on into 2024. But once I realized that I need to be happy with the profits I've made, because it was money I didn't have before that day actually started, and it's free money. And then that's when I realized, okay, even if I make 2% or 2k, 1k even, I'm going to be happy with the profits. I'm going to get my payout, and then I'll just repeat the process over and over again. If you do that 50 times or even 25 times, you're making 25k, 50k, or if it was 2k payouts, 50k, 100k profit. And all these small wins eventually do add up in the long run. And point number two kind of links to the first step, or the first thing I learned from trading prop firms, and this is to make profit and then wait for the payout. I've spoken about this a lot previously, and if you are an avid watcher of the channel, then you guys will actually know how I actually trade like this. But what I'll do is I'll pass phase one, I'll pass phase two as I would normally trade, so take every single setup I would normally take. And then once I get to the funded account stage, this is when I will start trading a little bit differently. So let's say I have a setup and it's a 1 to 2. I'll take this trade. If it hits take profit, 1 to 2, I'm not trading again until the payout. The next day, the next week, the next 2 weeks, they could be perfect setups. I'm not going to take them because I want to get my initial investment back. This is only for the first funded account phase. So you've just received the funded account details. You haven't had a payout yet from this particular challenge phase, and you're waiting for your first payout. You make a little bit of profit and then you simply wait. If you make $500, a lot of people would be like, oh, well, I just spent 500 to take the challenge. I'm not just going to make 500 and wait for a payout. I'm going to try and make as much profit as I can. And this is the mindset which actually messes a lot of traders up. You want to be in the mindset of, okay, once I get my refund back, once I get a small payout and it's actually a profitable process, then I can start risking. Then I can start trading normally. Then I can start upping my risk and maybe take every single setup you'd usually take instead of just trading one setup and then just leaving it. This is something that you have to consider. You want to make it a risk-free investment, a risk-free trading environment for yourself, because if it's risk-free, you're going to perform better because you know that, okay, I've already had my initial investment back, so my risk is gone, and I've also had a $500 payout. So I've actually made $500 from this. I've doubled my money. I've made 100% return. So anything else I make is just simply a bonus. If you had that sort of mindset, it stops you from just trying to get way too greedy, like we mentioned in point 1, and it just means that you can actually recoup a lot of your money back quite quickly from prop firms. You don't want to spend 2, 3, 4 weeks. You know, a lot of these prop firms are actually unlimited time now, so it could take you 3 months to pass, and you get to the funded stage, you try and make as much profit as possible, then you blow it after spending all that time trying to pass. I know how much effort goes into actually trying to pass one of these firms, so I'm not going to kind of abandon all of that time and effort that I've actually put in just trying to get rich quick from one payout. It's just not going to happen. Moving on to the next point, and this is you're going to use your prop firm payouts to diversify your investments. You guys will know if you are watching the videos recently, I've spoken a lot about different investments, whether it be watches. As you see, watches are good investments. People say, oh, why did you buy a watch if you're not going to wear it? But let's say I go into a Rolex dealership and they've offered me a new watch. If I buy that watch for 8K, for example, I walk out the shop, that watch is 14K, 15K. I mean, if you're making 5, 6K just walking out of a shop for this brand new watch, why am I going to wear that? That's like buying a house, and instead of renting it out because you've already got a house, you go and live in it instead. Doesn't really make sense. Obviously you can wear them as well and they will still maintain the value, but there's certain watches which I have only bought to hold and just not sell, because I feel like it's a better way to actually keep your money than just in the bank. And with using prop firm payouts, you can fund all these investments. You can get into property, you can get into buying watches, you can buy index funds, you could use it to max out your ISA if you're in the UK, or your lifetime ISA. And obviously all these ways of investing will produce you passive income. And that's the best thing with using your active income from your trading or your main job or any of these sort of incomes which you actually have to fund businesses or side hustles or investments. They're actually going to give you passive income. Because if you don't have passive income, you're literally going to be working till the day you die. You need to make money without having to put active effort into these businesses, and that's what you're going to do with the prop firm payouts. You know, the common saying is you should never have all your eggs in one basket, and if you are only trading prop firm accounts as your sole income, then you have all your eggs in one basket. That firm could shut down and then you're left with nothing. Whereas if you have investments that are consistently growing and you're consistently depositing into them, then this is going to be kind of a safety net or a backup, if you will, for you if this prop firm journey does actually fail. And the best way to actually make more profit from prop firms, moving on to the next step, is to leverage the profit in your account to make even more profit. Let me put this into an example for you. You've got a 100K account and you're currently sitting at 5% profit. So your account is now at $105,000. With this 105K, with your 5% drawdown, you can now go down to 100K in a day, technically. You don't want to obviously risk 5% on each trade to for the max drawdown, because that would be very stupid. Anything could happen with slippage, or you know, with these prop firms, anything can happen. You're going to use this 5K profit to to actually make more profit. So this is what I used to do on challenge phases. I'd be up 5-6%, I need to make 10%. I risk 2 or 3% of the profits to actually scale up. It also means that to get to 10% profit, you only need a 1 to 2 or a 1 to 1.5, depending obviously on the way you've actually scaled it. And obviously I don't recommend scaling up your accounts, but this is something I used to do to leverage and pretty much make as much profit as possible. I know it kind of does contradict the first points I've actually made in this video, but just giving you ways of what I've actually learned how to make as much profit as possible with these prop firms. You'll see a lot of the times I've been in trades where I'm up 20k and the next day I'll be risking 4 or 5k on a trade, and this is because I'm in profit on the account. I'm not risking drawdown, I'm just risking my profits to make more profit. I wouldn't do the same trades if I was actually in drawdown on the account, or if I was at level or break even on the account. It's not really an advisable thing to do, especially with the 5% daily drawdown. The 10% overall drawdown is just a very easy way to blow up the account and be left with no account. Whereas if you're just leveraging the profits, maybe 50% of your profits or 50% of your daily allowed drawdown, if you're above that on the account, then you can actually leverage these to make more profit before your next payout. And the next point is to make the most of prop firms, because they might not be around for much longer. Obviously, I'm not saying that prop firms are going to just disappear, because it's not really a likely thing that's going to happen. They're just growing bigger and bigger, and every day you see on Instagram, you see on Twitter, YouTube, there's prop firms being started every single day. So I don't think they're just going to disappear off the face of the earth. That's not what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying is a lot of people trade with firms that aren't well established. So a firm that isn't backed by either a person or good testimonials. They haven't seen many people actually have payouts from these firms, but then they'll risk all their profits and all their money taking challenges with these firms. You need to make the most of prop firms that are actually well established and not put all your money with firms that have only been around a day. And the main reason for this is a lot of these firms, they're all just trying to undercut each other. So you get to the point now where you could probably buy a 100k account for 150, 200 pounds, which means the ROI for the prop firms isn't as good, but then it just means it's a lot easier for the traders. And if it is cheaper and easier for traders, this means that more people have the chance to trade these larger accounts, which means more high profit payouts are actually going to be happening. And with these new firms having profit splits which are actually really, really high and cheap challenges, it means that traders can get massive payouts with firms that just can't afford to pay out these traders. Make the most of firms while you can, while they're still paying people out before they go bust. I've had it previously. You guys have probably seen a couple years ago on the channel. There was a prop firm, I made profit, and they didn't pay me because they ran out of money, and then the prop firm shut down. So it's happened to me, and that's something I've obviously learned from it. And what I've learned is try not to make too much profit, because they'll find a way to probably ban you and not pay you out your profits which you actually made. That's why I always say trade multiple different firms, but use them on a copier, so that if one firm goes down, it doesn't matter because you're still taking trades on these other firms as well. Same with your personal account, which is the next point. Trade personal account alongside your funded account. If your funded account gets blown for some reason, they can blow your account for literally any reason, or you could go break a rule that you didn't even know existed. Make sure you read the rules. Maybe you hit your drawdown by accident, you had some slippage. This can obviously happen, and that does happen to a lot of people, and then they're left with no account to trade with. Whereas if you're consistently depositing into a personal live trading account, it has to be live, because if you're not trading a live account, then you're literally just demo trading still. I see a lot of people on Twitter, on Instagram, traders, I don't really follow traders, but it comes up on the Explore page, and it is honestly quite laughable. Some of these people that claim to be 6 or 7 figure traders, but they're trading a 100k or 200k funded account. You can't claim to be a 6-figure trader if you're trading a 100k funded account. How does it make sense that you blow the account if you lose 10k on a 100k account, but you're trading 6 figures? You're trading 5 figures. You're trading a 10k account, but you have 90% extra in the account. So the balance is high, but you can't actually access that account. So if you're trading 7 figures, if you're trading $1 million and you're allowed 10% drawdown, then you are trading 6 figures. But once again, you're not trading 6 figures because it's a demo account. If you're not trading 6 figures personally, or you haven't had that in payouts, then I don't think you can consider yourself a 6-figure trader. So if you want to actually become a 6 or 7-figure trader, then you need to consistently deposit using your prop firm profits into a personal live account. Live account because you want to build up your psychology with seeing large numbers. Seeing large numbers on a prop firm, people say it affects them, but it just won't the same as it would an account that's actually their hard-earned money. If you put hours and hours and hours of effort of your time into making money and it's in a personal account, you're going to trade that differently. You're going to manage the trades differently to a demo account where you know if you lose 10%, you can just buy another challenge and start again. It doesn't matter to you. It's only a couple £100. If you're trading these large accounts and you've had previous payouts, it's pennies. Trade a personal account alongside, whether it be trade copied across, doesn't matter. Whether you trade it differently to the prop firms, it doesn't matter. But just make sure you have a backup trading account that you're actively trading alongside your personal. I actually focus more on my personal account because it is of a decent size and it does maintain that psychology in your trading. A lot of people trade live accounts, they get into prop firms, they get a few payouts, and then they're like a prop firm funded trader. I'm actually more impressed by someone that can have a track record, whether it be a smaller account or not, doesn't really matter, on a personal account, because it just shows that they can actually trade, they can manage their psychology whilst trading live money. It's more impressive to me if that is the case. I actually build a track record for my personal account because let's say you want to find investors down the line, or you want to just see your results over time. If you've got a personal account which you've been compounding consistently, then this is an easy way to actually see the results which you've actually been getting. And it's live money, so you're making profit at the end of the day anyway. So if you guys did enjoy and you want to learn how to trade, my mentorship, there is a link in the description, so go check that out. And maybe you can get some prop firm payouts, just like our mentorship members are doing too. So I'll catch you guys in the next video.